Hello everyone. So you must have gone through toppers' answers and their marks, and I believe that your faith in sociology has been strengthened, and now you are no longer facing any doubt whether you should go for sociology or you should change your optional, right? Now when you start sociology, right, there are two kinds of students. Either you have a background in sociology or you don't have a background. If you have a background in sociology, then in most of the cases you will not require a mentorship. Okay, you can do sociology on your own, you can study and revise and write answers also. Probably for evaluation you will need some guidance, but overall a mentorship program is not required if you are from sociology background. Because this optional is popular among non-sociology people also, people who are coming from different backgrounds, they may be from science background or commerce, and they believe that sociology will help them in scoring good marks, not only in the optional but also in essay as well as GS papers, because there is a lot of overlapping. If you have seen the syllabus, you will see that there is a lot of overlapping, right? So that is why this concept of mentorship has come up. Although if you look back, mentorship is not something new, and it has been since a long time, okay, and only thing was that it was not very popular in the civil services area, because most of the courses they were mainly for a foundation or test series. So these were the kinds of programs which were common, but lately you will see that mentorship has gained a lot of popularity. This is because now the syllabus has become more dynamic. Even the examiner is asking dynamic questions, more current affairs related, and even though the syllabus requires memorization, of course you will have to remember things if you are going to write answers in the exam, but the understanding analysis part is more, and that is why many aspirants, they are working and simultaneously they are preparing for civil services, and most of these candidates, they prefer self study. Okay, so because you are balancing a lot of things, so sometimes it is not possible to go for a conventional coaching guidance from any institute, and it is this section of people which requires mentorship. Now what exactly is mentorship? It is a very popular, and everywhere you see this term. Mentorship simply means that there is a guidance which is provided by an individual who is experienced in terms of knowledge, right, in terms of motivational aspects, because that person may have gone through the same process which you are going through right now. So they can help you deal with all the ups and downs during your preparation, because this exam is not only about studying the syllabus and writing the exam, but because it is a long process, that is why you require constant motivation. And initially it has been seen that a lot of aspirants, they start with a lot of energy, with a lot of vigor, but that energy dissipates in the middle, and then the preparation, it slows down and the person loses motivation. It is all because of the absence of a mentor, a person, a guide who can help that person rise again and resume the preparation. So we also follow that same definition of mentor, and we believe that there are people, there are aspirants who are preparing by self study, and probably they are not going for any kind of conventional coaching, or probably they have already done the coaching and now they feel that they want to do self study. So our program is basically for those students who can stay motivated, right, who are disciplined, who have that conviction that yes, I can do it and I am going to do it, right. So most of the effort has to be done by the mentee, the person who is preparing for this exam. The mentor is not going to study for you. Yes, mentor is like a lighthouse and will be giving you directions every now and then. Okay, starting from weekly to fortnightly to monthly to half yearly to yearly, that kind of guidance is being provided. There are lots of issues that a mentee faces during preparation. First is understanding what are the sources that one requires. Okay, there are a lot of sources available in the market, especially after the internet era, Telegram. You have a lot of sources. Okay, and you are very confused because you do not know which book should I study. Now, because in sociology, although there are few books which complete the syllabus, still the mental faculty of every person is different and every person comes from a different background. That is why a book which suits person A may not suit person B. So, in that condition, what happens? The role of the mentor increases. That person will help you choose the right sources which you should start reading, and also for every topic or subtopic, what kind of source will be the best source for you, right? So, mentorship is basically about you, and it is not a group training. It is not a group mentorship. It is a one-to-one mentorship where a person is going to help you figure out your own strategy, because ultimately it is you who is going to write that exam. Even if you are in a peer group, in a large group studying with every good aspirant, still in the exam hall, what will happen? It is you and you alone who is going to write answers, and in that phase you will be alone. That is why we prefer that if you are going for self-study, then a strategy should fit you. Okay, and one size fits all approach does not work here, because many aspirants, they are coming from non-English background and now they want to opt for English medium for writing. So, all of these factors the mentor takes into account. So, first is about source selection, then second is about understanding, because you are coming from non-sociology background, therefore initially you will find it difficult. Although sociology, everyone feels that yes, it is very easy. Okay, looking at paper 2, you feel okay, I know all these things. But if it's an optional subject which UPSC has chosen, then it must have chosen keeping something in mind, right? It will not be very easy, and that is why here what you have to do is you have to understand thinkers, you have to understand their theories, concepts, and here a simple reading sometimes does not help. There are many kinds of aspirants. There are people who can read and understand quickly, okay, but there are also aspirants who can read, but probably they need some kind of push, they need some kind of help in understanding. So, here comes the mentor. It is for you that we are here. So, conceptual clarity is very important, and then even after concept clarity, you have to convert that conceptual clarity into writing. Now, most of the aspirants, for us, English is our second language, and that is why we are not very fluent in thinking in English or writing in English, expressing in English. Most of us, we converse in our local language. So, here what happens, the mentor actually helps you in converting that conceptual clarity into writing. Okay. So, for that what we have done is that we go for a daily target based study, and here questions are given, right? Questions are given and some kinds of approaches will also be given, so that you understand, okay, this is how I am going to approach, and after that you discuss with your mentor where you are lagging behind, what extra features are to be added in your answers, whether your grammar is correct, whether your spellings are correct. So, a mentor helps you in all aspects of writing, in helping you convert your understanding into writing and expressing yourself. After that, what happens is that once you have understood the syllabus, you have completed the syllabus, written few answers in the daily sessions, then you also need to get habituated to writing in time limit, because you will be given 19 questions in 180 minutes for every paper of sociology. 2 papers we have, paper 1 and paper 2, so both you have to write. Now, if you are given the whole day, you can correctly apply the principles and you can write the answers very beautifully. But if you have to write that under pressure, what happens is that many times we panic. Okay, we start forgetting things, we do not remember. So here comes the role of revision. Regular revision is very much required in UPSC because syllabus is huge, talking about essay and the optional papers, general studies. Simply understanding is not going to help you. You will have to revise again and again. You will also have to practice writing. There are many candidates you will find they said that I just revised, I did not write, and I simply wrote in the exam hall. For them it may be different because they must have written somewhere, right? They must be habituated to writing. They are fluent in expressing themselves, right? But does it apply to you? Can you do that? If you are not confident, then please don't follow such strategies blindly. Just because candidate A was able to do it without answer writing practice does not mean that you will be able to do it, right? You are your own judge. You have to understand whether you will be able to write without any answer writing practice or not. And if you feel that you lack answer writing practice and you are not able to convert or reproduce whatever you have read on paper, then you need to get out your UPSC QA booklets, right? You need to take out your pens and you need to start writing. There's no other way out. So this mentorship program is going to help you in understanding topics, in covering your syllabus, in writing tests, in revision. And if you have gone through paper 2, you will realize that although paper 1 is about thinkers, concepts, repetition, questions are repeated, but paper 2 is entirely different, just the opposite. Static part figures very low in the exam paper, and most of the topics that are being asked, they are not repeated. Yes, they are related to current affairs, but you will rarely find questions being repeated. So for that purpose, you have to be in touch with current affairs regularly. And that is why we provide current affairs magazine till your mains exam, which is 2027. So you will be given model paper solutions, approaches, revision notes and lectures, of course, on all the topics of the syllabus and current affairs. We will also hold current affairs sessions once your paper 1 and paper 2 are complete. You have written enough tests, then we switch on to current affairs mode so that you get habituated to the themes which are being asked in the paper and how they are related to the newspapers. Okay, you cannot simply rely on one compilation without going through the newspapers. No, you will have to go through at least the headlines of the newspapers. You will have to work hard. So even though sociology seems to be very easy, and many people who are not from sociology background, they opt for sociology, still you will have to work as hard as every other candidate who is writing this exam. Okay, so be prepared to work hard, be prepared to be motivated. Okay, motivated does not mean that you burn out and you slog so much that you lose your health. No, you have to take care of your health also. Regular breaks are necessary. Eat good food, maintain a good posture. Every week at least one day you schedule for some kind of refreshment, anything, going out, walking. So keep yourself motivated, but there is someone who is going to hold your hand and help you reach your goal. That is what this SMP is about. And if you feel that you fall in this category, then please feel free to give us a message at Deciphering Sociology. So all the best. Good night.